What's going on, Facebook fam? I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to chime in. Got a really key Facebook Live that I want to give to each and every one of my network marketing family that's out there building in this lovely business that we're in. So we're going to give it a few minutes to give some people to jump on, and we're going to rock and roll. Who do I have chiming in with me so far? Hey, Kate, how you doing? Hello, Diane. Hello. Xavier's in the house. What's up, Xavier? Let you guys, if you can tell me that you can hear me okay, make sure that I'm clear here. I want to make sure that I'm clear. Hello, Lorene. Thanks for joining. Hey, Alvin. Thank you so much, my friend. Salam. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Hey, Dustin. What's up, brother? Hello, Debbie. How we doing, Debbie? Hey there, Kate. Good to see you. Hey, Rockstar Diane. How's Canada? Hey, Chris. How you doing, my friend? Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hello, Wendy. Alberta in the house. Canada's representing on Facebook Live today. Good to know. Good to know. Appreciate all of you guys chiming in. Really, really do. I'm going to rock and roll. I actually did a training last night on this particular topic, and I had quite a few inboxes of some people that wanted the actual notes from this training, and a couple of people that asked me if I could actually do it live. So I wanted to go ahead and do this training live and allow it to kind of propagate on Facebook, and hopefully each and every one of you could get some value from this. But I named this training, 10 top whys that could actually explode your one main why. And a lot of us inside of network marketing, we hear from our uplines and our sidelines about, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Is your why big enough to make you cry? And your why is going to actually propel you inside of your business. And that is actually true. You must have a why that's going to make you cry. You must have something that's truly going to propel you, whether it's you making sure that your kids are okay, whether it's you making sure that, you can pay your bills, whether you're trying to get a new home, whether you're trying to pay for college tuition, whether you're trying to remodel, whether you're trying to pay down some debt, whatever the case may be, whatever your why may be. But there's 10 crucial whys that I feel that will help you explode that one main why. And a lot of you have heard a lot of these things before, but I want to elaborate on them quite deeply. So you can really, truly get it and hopefully expand from it, and they're not in any particular order. So don't think that they're in any particular order of importance. I just kind of jotted these things down. And as I was doing this training, the training went quite a bit last night when I was doing this training. And I thought again that it could be some value to each and every one of you that are out there. So number one, that one why that could literally propel your one main why. First one. Why should you build rapport with your prospects and form them? Why should you build rapport with your prospects and actually form your prospects? Now, for those of you that don't know what form means, it means family, occupation, recreation, money. Family, occupation, recreation, money. So why should you build rapport with your prospects and form them? First of all, nobody cares if you are interesting. So many of us want to be interesting. So many of us want to share why we're doing something and share, all the wonderful things that are going on inside of our business. But at the end of the day, you're truly not trying to re-sign yourself up. You're trying to sign up a new prospect. So since that's the case, then you must be interested. You must be interested inside of that prospect, with that prospect. Who cares about you being interesting? It's all about you being interested. And one of the best ways to find out, to prove that you're interested inside of that prospect is by forming that prospect, Now, I teach something called a fraudulent slip. And basically the fraudulent slip is simply, you get someone to talk long enough, they'll tell you each and everything that you need to know. You get someone to talk long enough, they'll tell you everything that you need to know so you can craft your conversation for that particular person. So when we start talking about family, when you say, hey, Johnny, how you doing, man? How's the family? Haven't talked to you in a while. How's the family? Johnny's going to go on a 2, 3, 4, 5-minute tangent about his or her family. If someone can't go on a 2 or 3 minute tangent about their family, There might be something going on in their world. We all love our family, right? Now, what does our family include? Our family might include our wife. Our family might include our husband. It might include our girlfriend, our boyfriend, our significant other. It might include our dog, our salamander, our cats, our fish. All of these things are considered family, right? So, Johnny, I haven't talked to you in a while. How's the family? Oh my goodness, Cedric, the family's great. You know, little Isaiah's outside on the trampoline right now having a blast. I just picked up Mary from cheerleading practice. You know, my wife is awesome. You know, she's still a teacher, blah, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be, get him or her to talk about their what? Their family, about their family. Now they're talking about their family. Now we ease into occupation. You know, Johnny, last time I talked to you, you were an engineer at DuPont. You still an engineer at DuPont? You know, if this is someone that you know, if it's someone that you don't know, hey, Johnny, so what are you doing for a living right now? So Johnny gets into his occupation. He starts to talk about his occupation, okay? Then we get into recreation. You know, one of the best ways to find out about someone's recreation, especially if you're prospecting a new person, is that if you go to their Facebook page, find out what they love. Find out what they love. Find out things that they enjoy doing. So for an example, I got a really, really good friend that's a financial advisor that is an absolute rock star. His name is Jack Branch, right? And Jack loves to fish. So if I were prospecting Jack, because that's my man, and I'm not prospecting Jack, just using him as an example, but if I were to prospect Jack, I would say, Jack, man, that was a freaking large redfish that you caught last week, bro. Where did you catch that red at? Oh, said, man, it was an 8-pound redfish. I caught it, you know, outside of Lafayette, Louisiana, man. We took the boat out at 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, it was there. All the redfish were hitting on live shrimp, blah, blah, blah. So now he's talking about what? His recreation. Now he's talking about his recreation. And then we get into the money. Now, one of the easiest questions that you can ask someone, and when it comes down to money, is Johnny, listen to this really, really simple, because you can use this with a form as well as you can use this just in the open. So, Johnny, if I could show you a way to make some additional money from the comfort of your home without interfering with what you're currently doing, you got a few minutes to listen to me? Johnny, if I can show you a way to make some money from the comfort of your home without it interfering with what you're currently doing, would you be open to that? Is that really simple? Now, how can someone say no to that? No, I'm not open to making money if it doesn't interfere with what I'm currently doing. If someone says that, I want you to check their pulse. I want you to say, hey, Johnny, tilt your head to the left, huh? Tilt your head to the left. I need to put these fingers just to check you out. Doot, doot, doot. You're breathing? Okay, cool. I just wanted to check. How can they say no to that? So family, occupation, recreation, money. Throughout that process, we are building what? We're building rapport. Now at that point, you can send them your video, you can, send them your website, you can do the process that you normally do when you're prospecting new people. But that's one of the key whys that will help you explode your main why. Why you should build rapport. One of the main reasons why you should build rapport. So you can really get to know who you're talking to, so you can really craft the conversation around that particular person, because everyone isn't canned. You can't take a round peg and stick into a square hole. So because everyone isn't canned, it's very important that you have a conversation with that person. It's very important that it seems natural, that it doesn't seem scripted. You don't seem like a robot. When you come across natural, when you don't come across scripted, when you come across as someone that actually is interested in that person, you have a better chance of success when it comes down to presenting your opportunity. So one of the main whys, why you should be building rapport, that can propel your main why. The second one I want to talk about is why you should have a mentor. Why you should have a mentor. A lot of us are inside of network marketing, and a lot of people fail to realize that getting inside of this business, it's very, very simple. There's a simple buy-in. It might be $200, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, whatever your buy-in may be to join your network marketing business, right? But it's literally for some of us, it could be the cost of a bad dinner. For some of us, it could be the cost of a power bill. It's easy to get in and it's easy to get out. It's easy to get in and it's easy to get out because it has such a low barrier of entry. Now, when you think about that, when it comes down to mentorship inside of this industry, all of us jump inside of this industry, and it is literally like driving a 6-speed Lamborghini. Now, if you hit the lotto tomorrow for $10 million and you decided to go to the Lamborghini dealership and purchase a Lamborghini, just because you know how to drive a Lamborghini, just because you can purchase a Lamborghini doesn't mean you know how to actually drive a Lamborghini. Just because you got $10 million that you can purchase it, if no one teaches you how to drive the Lamborghini, you're going to burn the clutch out of the Lamborghini. And you cannot blame the Lamborghini. No one taught you how to drive the car. So many of us get inside of this business and we don't get taught how to drive the car, but yet we want to blame it on the company. We want to blame it on the upline. We want to blame it on the downline. We want to blame it on the products. We want to blame it on the comp plan. We want to blame it on the left leg, the right leg, the orthopedic leg, the leg that has no kneecap. We want to blame it on all these different things. But yet we don't look in the mirror and really sit back and think, do I have anybody in this car really showing me how to drive it? Now, did you learn how to drive a stick shift vehicle from looking at YouTube videos? Probably not. Did you learn how to drive a stick shift vehicle on a three-way call? Probably not. You probably learned with your mother, your father, or driver's ed instructor, whatever the case may be. So don't treat this business any other way, because it's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. Now, some of us have virtual mentors. That you have mentorship from Facebook Lives, you have mentorship from Google, you have mentorship from YouTube, you have mentorship from emails, whatever the case may be. And then some of us have the ability to have one-on-one mentorship. Do not discount the value of mentorship. Do not discount the value of coaching. Don't discount the value of mentorship. Don't discount the value of coaching, because when it comes down to mentorship and coaching, that means that maybe there's someone who's driven down that road that you're trying to go down. And you can choose to go down a paved road, or you can choose to go down a rocky road. But when all the dust settles, the rocky road can be a very expensive road. You see, all of us have blind spots. All of us have blind spots. Now, one of the things that you were taught in driver's ed is that when you look to the left before you turn, what do? You check your what? You check your blind spot. You check your blind spot, because that mirror says objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear. So you just don't change. You just don't change lanes. You have a blind spot. All of us have blind spots in our life. All of us have blind spots inside of our business. There's going to be things that someone else can see that has traveled down the same road that you're trying to travel down that maybe you can't see. This is why mentorship is so important. This is why coaching is so important. If you add that to your plate, if you understand the power of that, then that why that's making you cry, that why that is propelling you inside of your business right now, could be literally put on steroids. Literally. Okay? So the second why that could propel your main why. The third why that could propel your main why self-development? Why self-development? Now, this is crazy, because so many people discount the power of self-development. I want to applaud each and every one of you that are on this Facebook Live right now, live, as well as the people that might look at the recording, because this is literally part of your self-development. And if you think about self-development, network marketing, all network marketing is self-development with a product attached to it. That's all it is. It's self-development with the product attached to it. That's it. That's all it is. So if network marketing is self-development with the product attached to it, it's literally all about who you are becoming along the way. You see, you can go out and try to recruit an Amway distributor right now. You can go out and show an Amway distributor $20,000 a month check, $50,000 a month check, $100,000 a month check. It doesn't matter. They won't leave. They could be making $300 a month for the last 10 years. They won't leave. Engulfed inside of self-development. They are engulfed inside of who they are becoming along the way. You see, you can go back and look at some people inside of network marketing from 10 years ago, and maybe they aren't making 50 grand a month right now. Maybe they aren't making 100 grand a month right now. However, I promise you, if they have embraced self-development inside of network marketing, that the person that you knew 10 years ago is not the same person that you know today. The person that you knew 5 years ago is not the same person that you know today. The person that you knew 3 years ago is not the same person that you know today. But we discount self-development. We discount reading books. Sometimes we would rather look at Love and Hip Hop. Sometimes we would rather look at Dancing with the Stars. Sometimes we would rather look at the football game, the basketball game, the hockey game, the baseball game, the presidential debates. What's going on over here? What's going on over there? Sometimes we go through the Facebook scroll hole and we just scroll and scroll and scroll and look at what's going on in everybody else's life instead of really truly encompassing the self-development that it takes in order to propel your own life. You see, this why is extremely important. Why do we do this? Why do we absorb all the books? Why do we absorb all of the tapes? Why do we absorb all of the CDs? Why do we absorb the meditation? Why do we absorb the people that are around us that are really trying to pump this into us? Because it could literally propel that main why that you have on steroids. It could literally put it on steroids. So many people wonder how people become six-figure earners, how people become seven-figure earners. And one of the main reasons that they become 6- and 7-figure earners is because they have literally taken their self-development extremely seriously. Now, let's think about the fact that if you took 1 hour a day of self-development, you took an hour a day of self-development, whether it was with a Facebook Live or whether it was a YouTube or whether it was with you reading a chapter of a book or whether it was you listening to a CD, 1 hour a day. What's 1 times 7? That's 7 hours, right? What's 7 times 4? That's 28 hours. We got 4 weeks in a month. That's 28 hours in a month if you only gave it 1 hour a day. What's 28 times 10? That's 280, right? That's 280 hours of self-development in 10 months. And 10 months. Okay? What's 28 times 2? 56. What's 56 plus 280? Okay? 56 plus 280. What is that? 316, 326? 316, right? So that's 300 plus hours. That's 300 plus hours of self-development in a 12-month time frame. 300 hours. Now, if you take January 1 and you embrace this, right? Hell, if you start at December, if you start right now, you take December all the way through December 31st of 2017, because before you look up and blink, it's going to be December 31st, 2017. So if we take the next 13 months and we dedicate over 300 hours of self-development, you will not be the same person that you are today looking at this Facebook Live today, 13 months from now. It's impossible. It's impossible. So when you think about that, that is why it's so important. If you engulfed Jim Rohn, if you engulp Jerry Clark, if you engulp Eric Worre, if you engulped Ray Higdon, if you engulped certain leaders that are out there that are giving value on a regular basis, you engulped these books and really truly took it seriously, then the value that you are absorbing, the value that you are putting in your mind will indirectly create gold inside of your mind that will also allow gold to show up in your pocketbook and or your purses. But if you don't put the gold in your mind, you can't assume and hope that the gold is going to show up in your pocketbook or purses. You see, hoping is kind of like me going fishing for a great white shark, fishing in 150 feet of deep water in the Gulf of Mexico with a bamboo pole, a earthworm, a bobber, an 8-pound test line. I'm not going to catch a great white shark. I'm simply going to catch a suntan. And in case you haven't wondered, I already have one of those. So when all the dust settles, when we sit back and we think about it, we don't want to hope. We want to be certain. We don't want to hope. We want to be certain. And one of the certainties that you can use when it comes down to propelling that one main why is understanding why self-development is so important. The fourth why on really putting that one main why on steroids is, why do we attend events? Why do we attend events? You know, I just left the GoPro 2016 event with Eric Worre and so many other 6 and 7 and 8 figure earners and Tony Robbins and Sir Richard Branson. And it was literally a life-changing event for 20,000 people live and who knows how many thousands of others that were on the live stream. You see, when all the dust settles, if you want to become better, you've got to surround yourself around people that are better, around people that are better. You want to become that person that's on stage, that's training, then you got to learn from the people that are on stage that are training. You want to become a better leader inside of your business, then you got to learn to be a better follower at the same time. You know, you want your downline to explode, but you show up with 1 or 2 people at an event. You know, one of the key things that you can learn to do inside of network marketing that will really propel your why and propel your business and put it on steroids is get into the habit. Make it a habitual habit to be promoting events, to get so many people to events over and over and over and over and over again. And you will watch your business expand literally. But if you don't attend events and you don't get your team to attend events, then how are they gaining the knowledge that's necessary? You know, some people say, well, Cedric, you know, I don't want to bring some of my team to an event like GoPro because there's so many other people that are there. And what if they end up talking to somebody and blah, blah, blah. If you had teammates that were going to leave you, they were going to leave you without even going to the event. The event didn't matter. See, if you're living in a world of lack, the gold is never going to show up. You're living in this world of, I want to absorb all the information and then I want to be the one that looks like the king of the mountain or the queen of the mountain because I'm disseminating it all to them and I feel special. Well, that's awesome. But you're only going to retain about 15 and 19% of the information that you absorbed anyway. So now you're trying to take 15 and 19% of the information that you absorbed over 48 hours, over 72 hours, over 3, 4, 5 days. And then you're trying to disseminate that information to 20, 30, 50, 100, 500, 1,000 people. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Or you can push to have as many people on inside of your organization to be at events like GoPro, to be at a Unleash the Power Within with the Tony Robbins, or to be at all these different generic events that are happening across the world, as well as the company events that you're having within your company. All that value would tend to explode and create a downhill effect. I have never in my life seen team members that constantly brought people to events that their check wasn't growing. I've never seen that. Hey, Andrea, good to see you, darling. I've never seen people that have pushed to get their team members to events and then all of a sudden their checks were going backwards. If your check is going backwards, and no matter what company that you're in, I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time I went to an event? And when was the last time that I actually pushed my team to go to an event? Because this is where excitement happens. You know, at the end of the day, all of us are like lamps. We're literally like lamps, right? So if we're like lamps, what happens if we aren't plugged into the wall? Well, let's see. Oh, wrong one. Let's see what happens. Let's see here. Let's try this over here. Well, not a really good example being that I've got 2 lights working over here and that one didn't seem that much. But you see that? You see a little bit of light changing there? Just a little bit, right? Not really a good analogy, so let me just talk it out. Alrighty. So if we're all like lamps, what happens when you take a lamp out of the wall? The light goes out. What happens when you put the lamp back into the wall? The light goes on. Take it back out, the light goes off. Put it back in, the light goes on. That's the same exact thing that you're doing with your team when it comes down to events. If you keep them plugged into the wall, you keep them plugged in, the light bulb stays on. What's up, Sean? You unplug it, the light bulb goes off. You're wondering why your team isn't hot because they're not around the freaking fire. Cedric, my team isn't hot. My team isn't blowing up. You're not putting them around any fire. Who in the world roasts marshmallows in a freaking refrigerator? How can you roast a marshmallow inside of a refrigerator? You can't. You roast a marshmallow on fire. fire. So you want to put your team on fire, keep them plugged in. You want your team to go cold, just unplug them. Just unplug them. Your team goes cold, your check goes cold, then you blame it on the company, you blame it on the upline, you blame it on the right leg, the left leg, the orthopedic leg, the leg with no kneecap, the leg with no ankle, the two up that you're in, the unit level that you're in, the sideline, the right line, the products, this, that. You blame it on all these different things when you weren't plugged in and you didn't keep your people plugged in. That's one of the reasons why you want to keep your people plugged into events. It will help propel the main why that you have. The next why that will propel your main why, the next why that will propel your main why do we do three-way calls? Why? Interesting. Why do we do three-way calls? Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at human nature for a second, because some of us avoid human nature too much. So let's look at human nature. Human nature is to believe people that you don't know more than people that you do. Human nature is to believe people that you don't know more than people that you do. If you don't believe me, feel free to look at your kids. Feel free to look at your kids. You've been telling your kids not to do something over and over and over, then somebody else tells them to do it, then they do it. To believe people that you don't know more than people that you do. You've been telling your kids to not smoke funny cigarettes. Don't get high. Don't smoke hydroponic. Don't go to Denver. Don't smoke weed. Don't smoke blunts. Don't smoke blah, 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 blah. Then one day they come home high as helium. You're like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Why are your eyes so zooted? Oh, Bubba, I don't know. Then you find out that they've been smoking some funny cigarettes, right? Someone else told them that funny cigarettes were cool. You've been telling them funny cigarettes were not cool for 10 years. Now they believe the other person. So if human nature is to believe people that we don't know more than people that we do, then why do we discount that inside of network marketing? Why do we discount that when it comes down to one of our whys that could help propel our main why? You see, it doesn't matter if you know everything about your comp plan. It doesn't matter if you know everything about your products. It doesn't matter if you know everything about your ownership. It doesn't matter if you know everything about your science, your service, your this, your that, whatever the case may be. None of those things matter. What matters is that the person on the other line is assuming that they have to do what you're doing. The person on the other line is assuming that they have to do what you're doing. So if you're trying to be all popular and you're trying to be all, significant and scientific and saying all these big words that no one else can pronounce, you're saying all these things to make yourself look smart, then they're thinking that they have to make themselves look smart. They're thinking that they've got to do all those things. Who wants to do all those things? I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor. I never went to college. I didn't like the books I got for free. So Lord knows I didn't want to pay for any. So when all the dust settles, not knocking college, but when all the dust settles, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't go to school to be a scientist, then why all of a sudden are you being a scientist? If you didn't go to school to be an engineer, why all of a sudden are you being an engineer? How simple is it for you to send somebody a 10-minute video, a 20-minute video, a 30-minute video, whatever your video is, whatever your process is for your company, and then you turn around and you put them on a three-way call. And as you're talking to that person, as you're answering their questions, as that other person is answering their questions and you edify that other person, one of the things that I love to do on a three-way call is I ask the prospect, hey, Billy, can you do what Mary is doing right now? Well, what do you mean, Cedric? Can you do what Mary is doing right now? Well, what is Mary doing? Absolutely nothing. Mary is holding the phone and has the phone on mute right now. Can you call someone else? Put them on the phone with me. Put them on the phone with someone else and edify that person and then mute out the phone. Can you do that? Well, yeah, I can do that. Awesome. You're 90% there already. But feel free to get on the phone and break down everything in your comp plan. Feel free to break down all the ingredients in your products. I love it when people try to become scientists inside of their network marketing company. It absolutely blows my mind. I'm like, who cares about all that science? At the end of the day, a lot of type A personalities just want to know, does it work? Great. Awesome. Let's keep it moving. Okay. But if you never formed that person, you never figured out who that person was, you never built that rapport, you never understood their personality type, then all of a sudden you might be saying things that you shouldn't be saying. You see, everybody is tuned into one radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Everybody is tuned into one radio station. What's in it for me? So if they're tuned into that one radio station, you have to have a simplistic conversation with that person. And three-way calls allow you to do this without allowing you to become scientific, without allowing you to become this comp plan expert, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Keep it simple. Simple will win the race. Complicated will kill your race. Simple will win the race. Complicated will kill your race. It's just that simple. So if you have that why that's big enough to make you cry, that why of getting your kids out of your home, or that college tuition, or that new car, or that new home, or that down payment, or whatever the case may be, if you got that why that's big enough to make you cry, then understand why three-way calls are so important. Why you need to get yourself out of the way. Get yourself out of the way. Don't block your own success. Don't block your own success because you want to feel important. Use third-party credibility. That's what it's for. Now, there's some people that might be listening to this live video that might say, oh my goodness, I hate three-way calls. I don't want to do three-way calls. Three-way calls suck. You know what sucks more than three-way calls? Being freaking broke. You know what sucks more than three-way calls? Having your car in the driveway right now with no engine and you don't have the money for it. You know what sucks more than three-way calls is being 3 months behind on your power bill. You know what sucks more than three-way calls is not having the freaking money for your kids' college tuition. You know what sucks more than three-way calls is living at home with your parents when you know that you're a grown-ass man or woman. You know what sucks more than three-way calls is you literally not going out there and rocking and rolling with your dreams, but you say you don't want to talk to somebody else, or you don't want to three-way someone in. No one said that you had to do 62 three-way calls a day. It's only a call. It's not even work. Definition, the definition of work. The definition of work is something that you do when you would rather be doing something else. That's the definition of work. I don't work. I haven't worked since 2006. If you take network marketing seriously, you aren't working either. It's not work. Work is what these guys were doing in my neighborhood when I was driving to my house today, cutting down freaking 50-foot trees, climbing trees like a freaking monkey. Now that's work. It's 162 degrees in the shade outside in Florida. That's work. This isn't work. A three-way call isn't work. So embrace that three-way call and understand how it would help you propel that main why that you have. The next one, why should you persist until you succeed? Why should you continue to persist until you succeed? You know, persistence is so key inside of our network marketing arena. You know, there's one of my favorite books. It's called The Greatest Secret in the World by Og Mandino. If you don't have that book, feel free to go get it. It's the best $7 that you will invest. The Greatest Secret in the World by Og Mandino. And one of the scrolls inside of that book is, I will persist until I succeed. It's about 7 paragraphs inside of this book, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I don't have time to read all 7 paragraphs to you, but here's a couple of things that I will tell you when it comes down to persistence. You see, some of us fail to realize that there might be someone that's 2 levels deep, that's 5 levels deep, that's 8 levels deep, that's 10 levels deep, that's 15 levels deep inside of your business that you don't know. And right now you're making $400 a week, $500 a week, and you're sitting back like, man, life sucks. I want to make 10 grand a month. I think I should go do another company. Then you go and do that other company, right? But 5, 8, 10, 15, 20 levels deep, that person that you didn't know decides to rise up. That person that you didn't know decides to step up, but you didn't persist. You didn't keep going. Then all of a sudden, boom, Johnny goes out and blows it up. Then you find out a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later that Johnny was in your downline 50 levels deep, and you're like, oh shit, I just lost Johnny. You just lost 20 grand a month, 30 grand a month because you didn't stay persistent. Because you didn't stay persistent. You don't know who's going to show up inside of your business. You don't know who's going to show out inside of your business. You never know when you were 3 feet away from gold. You see, I had to learn a lot of this the hard way. You see, let me tell you about something that I learned the hard way about persistence. You know, years ago, back in 2000, and I don't know, I guess it was 4 or 5, something like that. You know, I got this crazy tip. I got this crazy tip on this one particular stock. It's called Intuitive Surgical. The ticker symbol is ISRG, Intuitive Surgical. So I get this tip of the stock, and it's a company that builds robots. They build robots to do surgeries. They build robots to do surgeries, right? Now, me, I wasn't this big avid investor at the time. I was a novice investor, and at the time the stock was at, I don't know, 40 some odd dollars, 50 some odd dollars a share, something like that, right? And I'm like, man, so I went ahead and bought some of the stock, right? And I wrote it out for like 3 or 4 months and I saw it just tick a little bit. Then it didn't move anymore. So I decided to sell and I made a couple of bucks, but nothing to really talk about, right? I didn't stay persistent. Then all of a sudden, about 2 years ago, I just happened to be looking at my Scottrade account and I look at this ticker symbol and I'm like, holy smokes, the freaking stock was over $600 for one share. And I'm like, had I stayed persistent, that money that I put in there would have blew up. That money that I put in there would have bought me a couple of more houses, but I didn't stay persistent. I didn't stick and stay until I got my pay. You see, at the end of the day, you got to stick and stay till you get your pay. Your business isn't going to always do this all the time. Your business isn't going to always do this all the time. If your business does this all the time, there's a good chance that there's something fishy going on inside of your business. I can almost tell you that there's a really, really, really high probability that there's something fishy going on inside of your business if it does this all the time. You see, your business is going to literally look like an EKG machine. Your business is going to look like someone that's on an EKG machine. Now, what is the EKG machine? If you watch somebody at a hospital, if you watch someone that's alive at a hospital, what does the EKG machine do? It goes doot, 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 doot. That's what the EKG machine does, right? When the person is dead, what does it do? There's a freaking flat line. Your business is going to do this. Your business is going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. It's going to do that. If you don't think it's going to do that, you should get out of network marketing. You don't believe me? Go look at any stock. Go look at any stock. Go look up GOOG. That's the ticker symbol for Google. Tell me what Google did when it first came out. It ticked, it ticked, it ticked, it ticked. It just kept ticking, it ticking, it ticking, it ticking, it ticking. And now it's really high, right? What did Facebook stock do when it first came out? Freaking it went down as soon as it came out. As soon as it IPO, bam, it went down. Then some people were like, man, I lost money. Let me get out, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, tick, tick, doot, 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 doot. Now it's over $100 a share. I feel bad for the people who changed their mind back a couple of years ago that didn't bet on Zucky. Good old Zucky. People that didn't bet on Zucky are looking at a Facebook Live right now. Good old Zucky changed the world. That's right. I called him Zucky. He's not going to see this Facebook Live, so it's all good. At the end of the day, I want you to think about this. So your business is going to do the same. Your business is going to do the same. But you got to stay persistent. You got to stay persistent with your prospecting. You got to stay persistent with your follow-up. You got to stay persistent with understanding marketing. You got to stay persistent with your leadership. You got to stay persistent with attending the events because it might not pop off in the first 3 months. What's up, Frankie? It might not pop off in the first 6 months. It might not pop off in the first year. It might not pop off in the first 2 years. Hell, it might not pop off in the first 4 years. But what if year number 5, it just said boom? Year number 5, it said boom. The first year you made $5 grand. Year number 2, you made $7 grand. Year number 3, you made 7,300. Year number 4, you made 15 grand. Year number 5, you made 100 grand. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Sure, it was worth it. But you persisted. You persisted. For some of you, you have business in other countries. Now, if you have business in other countries, I'm going to tell you right now, your persistence level needs to be really, really key. Because just because one country might be flat or one country might be going in a different direction, it has nothing to do with another country. There could be one country that could hold up your whole business, that could overpower everything that you've been building for the past 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. But you didn't stay persistent. You just don't know. You just don't know. So you've got to stay persistent if you want that why that's going to make you cry. If you want something that's going to propel it, you've got to stay persistent. The next why I want to talk about that will help propel that main why that you have is why you need to learn marketing. Why you need to learn marketing. Now, there are people that will literally tell you that the key word inside of network marketing is network. And I'm not going to argue with those people. Everybody has their opinion, okay? I have an opinion, you have an opinion. My opinion is, though, the key word inside of network marketing is marketing. That's my opinion. Now, why do I say that? I simply say that because I could take a marketer I could take a marketer that doesn't know a soul in Alberta, Canada, and drop that person off in Alberta, Canada, where it's negative 20 degrees. But because they know how to market, they can put 500 to 1,000 people on their team in 30 days, and they didn't know a soul in that town. But we discount marketing. We don't think we need to learn new skills. It's impossible for you to become better without learning new skills. You have to learn new skills. You see, marketing is all at your fingertips. Facebook Live, this is a part of marketing. Am I selling something? No, I'm not selling anything. But am I marketing? Yes, I'm marketing. This is Facebook Live. Okay, do you market on YouTube? What's up, Val Rockstar? Do you market on YouTube? Yes. Do you market on Periscope? Yes. Do you market on Facebook ads? Yes. Do you market on Google ads? Yes. Do you market on Pinterest? Yes. Do you market on Instagram? Yes. All these different ways to be able to market. You know, I know a lot of people, I used this example last night, and some of you today may have gotten a voice broadcast. You may have gotten a voice broadcast from some company or some marketer that sent you a voice broadcast, and maybe you're one of the people that hangs up every time you get a voice broadcast and they annoy you. But I want you to think about the numbers here. I want you to think about the numbers. And I don't have some voice broadcasting software that I'm pitching. I should find an affiliate link for one of them here real quick, but I don't have one and I'm pitching, right? But if you think about a voice broadcast, if someone uploads 10,000 phone numbers to a voice broadcast, keep in mind that they didn't call one of them. They didn't call one of them. They uploaded 10,000 phone numbers into a voice broadcast. They recorded one 30-second message. That 30-second message called 10,000 people. 9,500 of those people hung up the phone. Maybe you were one of them. 500 people listened to the message. Out of the 500 people that listened to the message, let's say 95% of them said this is stupid, and they hung up after they listened to the message. 50 people left a message on the voice recording. 50 people left a message. You called up 50 people. Out of 50 people, 8 of them joined your business. Your fast start inside of your company is $300. I don't know, just using that as an example. 8 times 300 is $2,400. You just made $2,400, and you only talked to the people that actually responded. The rest of the people hung up. You didn't have a conversation with any of those people that are like, I hate voice broadcasts. Why are they calling me in the middle of dinner? This sucks, da-da-da-da-da. Maybe you hate it, but if it didn't work, then why do people still do it? If it didn't work, then why were politicians doing it? If street signs don't work, then why do people still promote yard signs with a street sign? Yard sales with a street sign. If street signs don't work, then why in the hell is there 7 realtor signs in your neighborhood right now for the houses that are being sold in your neighborhood? So the street signs don't work. They don't work. Tell that to your real estate agent. Tell it to the person who's got a yard sale going on this Saturday. Tell it to the person who's selling the car 3 blocks down the road, but they're telling you they buy junk cars. Tell that to the person that's buying foreclosures, that at the end of the street, they say, we buy foreclosures. You see, this is all a form of what? Marketing. You got to embrace it, though. You can't ignore it. I love marketers. I love people that market, because at the end of the day, I like to learn from that. I absorb that. I was one of those guys that when I was young, I used to literally get horny off of infomercials. Literally, like, excuse the visual, but I used to get horny off of infomercials. You know why I got horny off of infomercials? Because I used to love that. But wait, there's more. I used to love that whole hook of how they used to take you through the whole process. Now, this is before I even really got engulfed inside of sales and really knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. But there was something about infomercials that really caught my attention. There was something about infomercials that were like, man, this really, really gets me. And then once I started really getting into it, there wasn't a Billy Mays infomercial that I've never seen in my life. Lord rest his soul. But there wasn't a Billy Mays infomercial that I've never seen in my life, because I used to love the process of how he used to pitch and then how people would call. That's marketing. That's marketing. If infomercials didn't work, then why do they still come on late at night? If infomercials didn't work, then why is it do you have a Flip My House program sitting in your closet right now from Carlton Sheets that you bought 5 years ago, and the only thing that you've ever flipped was the box in your closet? You ain't flipped no house, but you got caught up in that infomercial late at night. If infomercials didn't work, then why, when you got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you were walking downstairs because your throat was dry and you decided to get some lemonade and there was a Beachbody commercial that's on, which by the way is a network marketing company in case you didn't know, and you saw Sean T working out with like this 72 pack and you're like, holy shit, I want to look like that guy. Look at all those testimonies. I want to look sexy like her. I want to look sexy like him. All of a sudden your American Express card was inside of your house coat. You picked up the phone, you ordered the freaking Beachbody Insanity program. It showed up 4 days later. You got your LeBron James Nike headband. You put on your leotards and your glow in the dark Nikes. You stood in front of the doggone TV for 3 minutes and you realize why they call it insanity. Now it's inside of your closet next to the Flip My House Carlton Sheets program. And at 12:30 at night, you're still eating cupcakes and freaking Lay's potato chips. You know why? Because you got caught up in marketing. So don't ignore it. Embrace it. Love it. See why it works. And then figure out what you can do that you can add to your repertoire. Figure out what you can do that you can actually add to your repertoire. I'm not telling you to go out there and try to figure out 10 different marketing techniques at one time. That's insane. You're going to become a jack of all trades and a master of none. A jack of all trades and a master of none. But you need to master 1 or 2 marketing techniques, get it mastered, and then go to another one. So here, let me give you an example here. One of my mentors, one of my coaches, his name is Ray Higdon. If you don't follow Ray, it's probably costing you a significant amount of money. I highly suggest that you follow Ray. I don't have some affiliate link. The dude is just a freaking beast. Just go follow him at his blog, rayhigdon.com. Go follow him on his Facebook page, whatever the case may be. Now, Ray is a blogging machine. If there's 2 things that I can guarantee each and every day, I can guarantee that the sun is going to come up and there's going to be a blog post from Ray Higdon. And if there was any one thing that I was going to challenge, it was the fact that the sun might not come up. But I ain't going to challenge the fact that he ain't going to have a blog post. I ain't going to challenge the fact that there ain't going to be an email that's going to come out from him every single freaking day like clockwork. He has mastered blogging. He has mastered blogging. Does he do other things? Yeah. But what is his core? Blogging. What is your core? If I were to ask you what your core is, what are you going to tell me? Do you even have a core? Well, Cedric, I don't know. Don't you think you should get one? Don't you think it's about time to get one? It's 2016. In 3.5 weeks is going to be 2017. And you still haven't added another marketing technique? You still haven't added another marketing technique? You still haven't become proficient in something else? You have to become proficient, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to propel that why, that main why that's going to make you cry, understand marketing. Next one, why follow up and close? Why follow up and close? You know, the average human being makes a decision on something after they see it 4 or 5 times. The average human being makes a decision on something after seeing it 4 or 5 times. But we get inside of network marketing, we have a conversation with someone one time, we don't follow up with them, we don't close. Are you serious? Are you serious? There's a lot of guys that are looking at this Facebook Live right now. Your wife tells you no, honey, it's that night, I'm feeling good. What you think? She says, no, you're so freaking persistent. You keep following up. Honey, what you think? Honey, what you think? Honey, what you think? You sure? You feeling okay? Huh? Is tonight the night? Is tonight? Is it night? She's like, no, it ain't Valentine's Day. But baby, I know it ain't Valentine's Day, but is it tonight? Is it night? You will follow up and close with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your wife or your significant other, but you won't follow up with someone that could actually change your life inside of network marketing. Everybody ain't going to sign up on day number 1. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why would everybody sign up on day number 1? They're not. Some people want to watch you. Some people want to see if you're going to be consistent. Maybe everything's great in their life right now. You talk to them in January. And everything was awesome. You followed up with them in March and everything was still awesome. Maybe in July they got a divorce. Maybe in October they realized what their divorce judgment was. Maybe in December, it's the time for them to do something because they need an extra $5,000 a month. They need an extra $3,000 a month. They need an extra $1,000 a month. What if you didn't follow up with that person? Do you realize that so many of us are laying the foundation. So many of us are laying the foundation for someone else to recruit the people that we prospected because we didn't follow up. You are literally laying the foundation because you didn't follow up. Someone else followed up with them, caught them at the right time, signed them up in their business or signed them up in your business, and now you're upset about it. How can you be upset you didn't follow up with them? You see, there's people on your list right now that you talk to in January. You're going to call them in December. Oh, but Cedric, I'm going to wait till January. I'm going to wait till the first of the year. Really? That's awesome. Is the first of the year promised to you? Is the first of the year promised to you? No, it's not. You don't know if you're going to be breathing on the first of the year. You're breathing right now in the present moment. You're breathing right now in the present moment. That's why they call it a present, because that's exactly what it is. So why don't you utilize that present? Why don't you utilize that present that you have right now called time and pick up the phone and follow up with Billy? Pick up the phone and follow up with Mary. Pick up the phone and follow up with Chris. Who cares you talked to him 6 months ago? You don't know what changed 6 months from now. You have no idea. You have no idea what extra bill they need to pay for. You didn't know that their car just broke down 3 weeks ago. You didn't know they needed a new transmission. You didn't know that they needed some money for college tuition. You didn't know any of those things. But if you don't follow up, you never know. You never know. You never know. At the end of the day, when it comes down to closing, there's something that I love, right? There's something that I love. Do I have it in my pocket? Yeah, sure I do. Let's see. There's something that I love. And there's something that all of you love. And I'm not going to pull them all out, but you know what I love? First of all, you got to get you one of these little handy little things here. See this? This is so when people walk past you, they can't zap your credit cards. They got toys out there right now that people can stand beside you and zap your credit cards. They can zap your credit card numbers. It's crazy. So I got this little thing right here. You know what these are? These are credit cards. You know what I love? I love freaking credit cards. You know what I figured out? I figured out that an American Express smells a little bit different than a Visa. I figured out that a MasterCard with a $50,000 limit smells a little bit different than a debit card with a $5,000 balance. Once you get good at closing, you can smell it. That person has a discover. I just discovered that they have no money on that card. You see, once you get good at closing, you are not afraid to ask for plastic. But when plastic doesn't show up in your world, when plastic doesn't show up on your sign-up page, ladies and gentlemen, when plastic doesn't show up, greenbacks don't show up. When plastic don't show up, so if you are afraid to ask for the order, don't be upset when you look in your bank account and there's no greenbacks there. Because the reason why there's no greenbacks there is because you didn't ask for any plastic backs. You want some greenbacks? You've got to ask for some plastic backs. But you will never, ever, ever increase the amount of greenbacks that you have until you increase the frequency of plastic backs that you ask for. You get it? That sounds like a t-shirt. Andrea, write that one down. Might be a t-shirt to make there, darling. You want more greenbacks? Ask for more plastic backs. So you got to be willing to close. You've got to be willing to ask for the order. What's the worst thing they could say? No. No just means not right now. Your eyebrows didn't fall off. Your hairline didn't start receding like LeBron James. None of that stuff happened. All they said was no. Who cares? Go to the next one. Some will, some won't. So what? Some are waiting. Keep going. Keep going. But you got to be willing to follow up. You can't just leave people out there in la la land. You can't think because Johnny said no today that Johnny's going to say no forever. You don't know what changed in Johnny's life. That's why follow up and closing is so important. That will help you propel that main why. Next one. You guys getting some value from this? I hope you guys are getting some value from this. Let me know if you're getting some value from this. Next one. Why social media? Why social media? We're on social media right now, right? Another way to market. Another way to get your brand out there. Another way to spread the message. When we think about the social media platforms, the number one Goliath is Facebook. You've got Facebook. You've got Instagram. You've got Periscope. You've got Pinterest. You've got YouTube is I consider YouTube social media /search. Social media /search /video. That's what I consider YouTube. So you've got all these different ways to be able to get your message out there. Now, you can use social media in a way that can help build your brand and build your business, or you can use social media in a way that can help deter people. Now, here's what I mean by helping deter people. It's very, very important that you understand why you do this correctly. You see, on social media, there's a lot of people who tend to think that Facebook is a psychiatrist. They tend to think that they need to tell Facebook everything that's going on inside of their life. You see, back in 1975, there was no Facebook. Back in 1985, there was no Facebook. Back in 1990 plus, there was no Facebook. So when you had a problem in your life and you could afford it, who did you go to? You went to a freaking psychiatrist and you sat down and you told them everything that was going on. Now what we do is, since it's free, we go on social media and we sit down with our phone or our PC or our Mac, and we tell Facebook everything. My husband sucks. My wife just left me. My kids are a bunch of baby kids. This just happened. This person stole this happened, blah, blah, blah. Now, not saying that we don't all have challenges in our life, because we all do have challenges inside of our life. But it doesn't mean that you got to tell the whole world a bunch of challenges all the time. Doesn't mean that you got to go on Facebook and vomit everything on side of Facebook, because that is a part of your brand. That is a part of your brand. I know people that go through Facebook rants. I've seen people that have literally gone through rants. They've gone through these rants, and some people tend to do this for the likes. Some people tend to do this for the likes. You know what? I stopped posting and I stopped doing videos for the likes. You know what I do it for? I do it for the freaking love. I don't do it for the likes. I do it for the love. Not the love of somebody hitting a love button. I do it because I love what I do. So because I love what I do, that's why I do it. I'm not saying something because I need somebody to like it. I need somebody to share it. I need somebody to say, go, say it, go. That's not why I'm doing it. Okay? That's not why you should be doing it. Because so many of us pay attention to the likes, but yet we don't pay attention to the people that don't like. We don't pay attention to the people that don't like. You see, you can have a video that was viewed 1,000 times that had 300 comments on it. That means that there's 700 plus people that didn't say a word. I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder what they're thinking. We're sitting back worried about the likes and the shares, but what about the people that didn't like it, that didn't share it? What about some of the people that think that you're crazy? There's people that are looking at this video right now that think that I'm crazy. It's okay. I'm just on an energy drink right now, and I got a lot of energy. It's just part of who I am, so it's okay. You can think I'm crazy, but you won't call me broke. Think about that one. You see, at the end of the day, stop worrying about what people are thinking. Stop worrying about that you got to tell everybody everything on social media, because you don't. The second thing that you need to understand is that through social media, people are following you. People are following you. They're not literally, quote unquote, following your company. So if your Facebook profile picture is a logo of your company product, you're killing yourself. If your Facebook background is all about your company, you are killing yourself. If you've got a list of all your products as your Facebook background with the name of it, you are killing yourself. You are branding the company. You ain't branding you. You are doing community service. You know how you're doing community service? Because even if some of your friends did like your product and they didn't want to talk to you about it, but on the backside of your Facebook profile picture background is the name of all your products, they can just go Google it. They can now go Google it, they can go YouTube it, and they can go find somebody that they like. They find out that their cousin is in it. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you were in this thing. Yeah. I saw it on Mary's page, and oh, you're in it? Okay, well, I'll join you. You just set up Mary. You just threw an alley hoop for Mary. People ain't joining your company, ladies and gentlemen. They're joining you. Don't throw up on Facebook every single day. Don't throw up on YouTube. Don't throw up on Pinterest. Don't throw up on Instagram. Don't throw up on these social media sites every single day about your product. Because what will end up happening is this. And some company owners don't want you to hear this, but I don't care. I'm an independent contractor. I could give a rat's ass if a company owner doesn't like what I'm saying. I'm an independent contractor. So being an independent contractor, I am not in the business of branding a company, because people are joining me. People are joining me. So why are you branding the company? You ever looked at a video? You ever looked at a video on BET or MTV, and you ever wonder why sometimes the t-shirt is blurred out? Sometimes the hat is blurred out. You know why? You know why the t-shirt is blurred out? You know why the hat is blurred out? Because those companies aren't paying those rappers. Those companies aren't paying those R&B artists. So because they aren't paying them, they ain't branding them. They ain't gonna brand them. So yeah, they might have on a Nike hat. Yeah, they might have on this, they might have on that, but you see the blur because they don't want you to know what it is, because Nike ain't sent them a check. If Nike sent them a check, they will sport it all day long, all day. You sending me 50 million, Nike? Boom, I got my hat cocked sideways. Let's get it. But you ain't sending me 50 million? Nah, I'm gonna wear it in my video, but I ain't gonna promote it. You know what I mean? Now, let's look at Puff Daddy. What is Puff? You see Puff Daddy, right? I love Puff Daddy, right? But you see Puff Daddy all the time wearing Sean John. He's wearing Sean John. Okay? He's wearing Sean John. Is that his brand? Yes. Is that his company? Yes. There's no need to blur that. That's his deal. That's his deal. He's in a video with his own vodka. That's his deal. That's his stuff. So I'm in the business of branding TTO. I own TTO. Okay? I'm in the business of branding that. I can't brand a company. That company sending you a check, brand away. Brand away. But if you're doing community service, don't brand on your wall. Don't let it be the logo of the company. Don't let your whole background be the company. Okay? It's you. It's you. Show lifestyle. You know, when you're doing promotions on your wall, go to Fiverr and get someone for $5 to create your own promotion banner. So when you're promoting people, it's branding your team. So then when someone else looks at it, they don't even know what company it is. Interesting. They're forced to ask you. They're forced to inbox. They're forced to do so. You see, we've got to change the way we think inside of 2016. This ain't 2000 anymore. This ain't 2003 anymore. This ain't 1972 anymore. We're the walking brand. We're the ones that propelled the companies. You see, it's called a network marketing company. It's called a network marketing company. Now, if the products could sell themselves, they wouldn't need us. They wouldn't need us. The products would just be inside of Walmart. They wouldn't need us. So every single company out there needs you and I. They need you and I. Don't get it twisted. They need you and I. Because if you and I didn't exist, then the volume wouldn't exist. Then the volume wouldn't exist. So if that's the case, then brand you, attract people to you, build your business, build the volume, build your customers, and don't every single day brand the company. Every single day. Not saying that you don't promote something about your company on your wall. I'm not saying that. You know, you promote stuff on your wall about your company, but you don't do it every single day and then blur out the people that didn't follow you on Facebook because they wanted to learn how to lose some weight. That they wanted to learn about your electricity, or they wanted to learn about your energy drink, or they wanted to learn about your service, or whatever you might be selling. There's thousands of products that are out there. Don't, you know, when I go to people's walls and all I see every day is promotion. What's up, Captain Jack? I gave you a shout out earlier in my video, brother. Promotion. When I go to people's walls and all I see is promotion, I sit back and I'm like, they don't get it. They just don't get it. Or people put up a long link, www.blah.com, yourcompanyname.com. Why are you promoting a sublink? Why are you promoting a sublink on your wall? You just gave away all your information. Go to GoDaddy and pay $9 for a domain name. Pay $9 for a domain name and cover that up. Okay? So be smart about social media, ladies and gentlemen. Be smart about that and do it the right way. So we covered why three-way calls. We covered why events. We covered why personal development. We covered why persist until you succeed. We covered why have a mentor. We covered why learn new marketing techniques. We covered why build rapport. We covered why follow up and close. We covered why social media. The last thing is why prospect. Why prospect? Why prospect? Every single day, you got to be prospecting in some way, shape, or form. Did I say every day? Every day. Every day. It's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. You lose what you don't use. You lose what you don't use. Now, some of us tend to build teams and then we want to call through the people that we recruited a year ago, that we recruited 6 months ago, and we're trying to raise the dead. We're trying to raise the dead. Let me give you a clue. If that person hasn't done something in the last 30 to 60 days, you're probably not going to raise the dead. Not saying that you don't stay in contact with them. Not saying that you don't stay friends with them, because you don't never know when they might come back around and something changes. But don't walk around and act like a paramedic. Okay, so here's what a lot of people do. They walk around and they act like a paramedic. So what does a paramedic do when they think someone is dead? They take those little things and they rub them together and they say, clear, clear, clear. And you're trying to bring back to life someone that's dead. It is so easier. It is so much easier to bring in some fresh blood than trying to raise the dead. It is so much easier than dealing with someone that doesn't have a clue versus dealing with people that want to complain, moan, and grope. Oh, the company did this. Oh, this happened over here. Oh, this, oh, this, that. You don't, everybody has issues, right? But a fresh person don't know all that good stuff. They don't know all that good stuff. They don't know it. You see, you take advantage of the fact that there's a couple of billion people on the planet. Isn't that interesting? You take advantage of the fact that there's a couple of billion people on the planet. And everybody doesn't know about your company. Do you realize there's people that don't even know who Amway is? Do you realize that there are people that go to Orlando, that watch the Orlando Magic play in the Amway Arena, that still don't know who Amway is? Do you realize that? Do you realize that Donald Trump is appointing the wife of one of the Amway owners, is looking to appoint one of the wife of one of the Amway owners to the head of education? And there's people that still don't know who Amway is. So if they don't know who Amway is, and if it wasn't for Amway, none of us would be inside of network marketing today. So stop hating on Amway. If somebody says, is this like, if someone asks you, is this like Amway? You should look at them and say, if it wasn't like Amway, I wouldn't be in it. That's what should be your response. You shouldn't duck your head down and say, oh, Amway. No. I see freaking company owners that say this ain't like Amway. Stop wailing. Stop wailing. Listen, let me tell you something. If anything pays past 2 levels, it's network marketing. Stop with the fronting and the faking. If it pays past 2 levels, it's network marketing. So stop telling people it ain't MLM, because it is. Why aren't you embracing that? Why are you knocking the game? If someone is paid 5 levels deep, it's network marketing. But Cedric, there wasn't a sign-up cost. Who cares that want a sign-up cost? Is there somebody getting paid down levels? Yes, it's network marketing. Stop fronting. Go ask 50 attorney generals is in network marketing. It's network marketing. I don't care how much money your owner has. It's network marketing. Embrace it. It is what it is. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it ain't a freaking bear. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's not a bear. It's a duck. So embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace the prospecting every day. Embrace the new blood every day. Embrace the fact that there's going to be people that are going to say no. Who cares? Who cares? Embrace no's. Embrace no's. Go on a no collection. Collect so many no's. Be looking for no's so much that when someone finally does say yes, you become surprised. Holy shit, you said yes? Oh, wow, I thought you were going to say no. You become surprised. You get excited, okay? So somebody tells you no, it's okay. You need somebody that's going to cut your grass. You need somebody that's going to clean your pool. You need somebody that's going to teach your kids. You need somebody that's going to fix the transmission. Your transmission is slipping. You need somebody to wash your car. And Lord knows you're going to need somebody to clean your house when you're making $100,000 a month, because you ain't going to do it. I learned a long time ago from one of my very, very wealthy mentors. He said, do things that you love to do and pay somebody else to do the things that you don't want to do. When you become financially in a position to do so, you do things that you love to do and you pay somebody else something that you don't like to do. I don't like to cut grass, so I'm not going to be outside cutting no grass. I don't want to do that. You pay somebody $40 a freaking every 2 weeks to cut the grass. Okay? Think about it. So everybody isn't going to join. But if you don't prospect on a regular basis, you're going to be truly trying to live off of the team that you built in 1972, the team that you built 2 years ago and 5 years ago. You want to be able to motivate some of the people that are currently on your team right now that might not be working as hard. Go recruit some new blood. You ever seen a quarterback in the NFL raise their level of stature? It's because the person that was recruited from the draft, he thought that he was getting ready to lose his job. So man, all of a sudden he started playing a lot lot better. You ever see that happen before? What makes you think that don't happen inside of network marketing? Ladies and gentlemen, it's called life. It's called life. So you got to go out there and be prospecting every day. You got to go out there and be filling up your pipeline on a regular basis. You're filling up your pipeline on a regular basis. Then it allows you to constantly have people inside of your pipeline that you're able to follow up with. It allows you to constantly have people that you can contact. It allows you to constantly be able to tap root through people that maybe they said no, but it allows you to go fishing and start tap rooting because they gave you a referral or two. I know a young lady right now that literally gets so many referrals from people, it's crazy. And then she goes back to a lot of these people because they give her referrals not thinking that she's going to follow up with them. Then she turns around and follows up with them and closes them, get their people in the business. And then after she signs up 3, 4, 5 of them, she says, are you sure you don't want to do this? Because you know you just did it. And I done signed up 3, 4, 5 of your people. I mean, how much community service do you really want to do? Because if you want to go do community service, go to 7-Eleven, steal a Snicker bar, run out of the doggone store. When you go to court, the judge will give you 40 hours of community service, and then you can stand on the side of the road with an orange jumpsuit on the weekend picking up trash. That's community service. Stop doing community service. Start asking people for referrals and go digging through those people. But you got to constantly keep that pipeline full. You got to constantly be prospecting on a regular basis. If you're constantly prospecting on a regular basis, constantly, each and every day, you will never run out of people to talk to. You will never run out of people to sponsor, and your business won't be going the other way. One of the biggest reasons why people's business goes the other way is because they stop sponsoring. They stop. They just stop. They think they made it. I've made it. Ooh, all of a sudden the stars start to part. The only thing that's going to part is your bank account. You ain't made it. You ain't made it. If Sir Richard Branson is still doing it, we ain't made it. If Tony Robbins is still doing it, we ain't made it. You got $100 million in your bank account, we ain't made it. Grant Cardone worth a couple $100 million. He's still hustling every single day like he broke. He wakes up every single day like he's broke. We ain't made it. I don't think that there's one person on this doggone Facebook Live that's worth a couple $100 million. And if you are, please contact me. Please inbox me. You and I go to the Waffle House so I can get me a T-bone steak, medium well, hash browns with jalapenos and onions in it, 3 eggs scrambled with cheese on the side, some toast with some light butter on it, a cup of coffee, and whatever you want. And I'm treating because I want to pick your brain. I want to pick your brain. You see, you learn from people who have the results that you want, but you got to constantly be networking. You got to constantly be prospecting, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's through text messaging, whether it's through Facebook, whether it's through all these other means of social media, whether it's through email marketing, whether it's through blogging, whether it's through meetup groups, whether it's through whatever. You constantly have to be out there consistently doing this, keeping that pipeline full. If you do that, and understand why you need to be prospecting on a regular basis, if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I promise you is this. That main why of why you're doing network marketing. I want to take care of my kids. I want a new house set. I want a new car. I want to be financially free. I want to fire my boss in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. Whatever that why is, if you pay attention to those top 10 whys that can propel your main why, I promise you, you dig your feet in, that why will be accomplished a lot faster than you think. It's amazing what happens with the brain when we focus on what we really want. It's amazing what happens when you write certain things down and your brain just automatically starts to gear toward it and you don't know why. It's amazing what happens when you subconsciously put things into your mind and you embrace the self-development, you embrace the mentorship, you embrace the marketing, you embrace the good days, you embrace the bad days, you embrace the upline, you embrace the downline, you embrace the people who leave, you embrace the people who join. You embrace the left leg and the right leg and the orthopedic leg and a leg with no kneecap, and you treat people like they want to be treated. It's amazing what happens when you attend those events. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens when you understand personality types. It's amazing what happens when you listen to people that have the results that you want instead of the results that you already have. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 top reasons why 10 top reasons why you should really pay attention to that main why. Utilize those top 10 reasons, absorb them, embrace them, really truly embrace them, and watch what happens to the main why. With that being said, God bless you all. Thank you so much for chiming in on my Facebook Live. I know you could have been anywhere in the world over the last hour and you chose to spend an hour with me. I appreciate it. I do not take your time as not being valuable. So thank you so much. I appreciate all the hearts. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the shares. And just know and understand that I know why God put me on this planet. And it's really, really, really so good to be able to deliver some great content to each and every one of you. And if it just hits one person, I did what he put me on this planet to do. So with that being said, thank y'all again. I guess it's only fair that I end this Facebook Live as I end all the rest of them. Remember, there's only 3 types of people on the planet, only 3. The kind of people that make things happen, the kind of people that watch things happen, and the kind of people that have been chiming in for the past hour that are wondering what happened. I'm going to give you the opportunity to figure out which one you are today. God bless you all. See you at the bank.